All right, good morning, everyone. This is Jason with Molecular Cloud. I'm going to be doing a live stream with another one of our iGEM team sponsors, sponsored iGEM teams. And this is going to be iGEM IISERB. Let me bring them on. Hello, everyone. All right, here we go. Good morning. How are you? Well, is it
Hi.
morning over there?
It's evening. It's around 7:30 here.
Oh, geez, that is pretty late. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. here, and so I'm in New Jersey. Thank you for coming on with me. Um,
We're so
you
happy to
said
be
that
here.
there's a
Thank
third
you.
person?
Yes, we've
Oh,
got Shashank.
fantastic.
He's supposed to be joining in. He's heading our wet
Is he
lab.
in here already?
Yes, he's there.
Let's
Shashank
see.
G1.
There he is. Oh, I don't know if I can bring a third person in. Okay, let's see. All right, so right now I think we can only have two on at a time. So I suppose we'll have you two swap in and off, on and off with the. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
yeah.
We
So
can do that.
fantastic. And thank you for coming on to the live stream with us. My name's Jason. I'm with Molecular Cloud. We congratulations on your sponsorship achievement for the month of um, May. And yeah, so you have won the Molecular Cloud sponsorship for $2,000 and a $1,000 voucher to GenScript. So I hope this is going to help you with your research project. Um,
Yes, big
yeah,
time.
Fantastic to hear that. And so you are with the iGEM team, IISER Bhopal. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your team, and your university?
Okay, so I am Prerita Chawla, and I'm from IISER Bhopal, which is one of the research institutes, like one of the research institutes in our country. And we've been part of iGEM thrice now, and I'm in my third year. So we have iGEM alumni to look up to who have been helping us through the process. And so this was one of the ways we were going to help build our build our presence, as well as the money is going to be really useful because for Indian teams sometimes it's a little difficult with the funding, and this has been really helpful. So thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah, and it's fantastic to have the alumni to help you with your iGEM
Yeah.
team because I remember when I was doing iGEM back when I was actually pretty young and just starting out in school. I had the alumni that I look up to help me with my project, and so that was extremely helpful. And so
Yeah.
the yeah, so I read a little bit about your team, and you're doing something with gut bacteria and a way to use gut bacteria to treat type 1 diabetes. And can you tell me a little bit about what type 1 diabetes, type 2? Which one are you looking at?
So we're looking at type 1 diabetes. And the issue with type 1 diabetes is insulin is not produced naturally inside the body as much as it should be. And there are existing treatments. I mean, there are insulin injections and there are multiple ways of treating it. But I mean, we realize that type 1 diabetes, especially in India, is a huge problem because we have a lot of we have a lot of sedentary lifestyle jobs, and people usually don't. And plus our genetic tendencies, it's quite prevalent in India having type 1 diabetes. So we decided that this was an important thing to look into. Plus, I think most Indians in their families at some point have people who have been suffering from type 1 diabetes. And you see them taking the insulin injections, and they have these restrictions and everything. And you realize
Mm-hmm.
that this needs to be changed. Like, I mean, if we could do anything about it, that would be wonderful. So we decided to look into that.
I absolutely agree. And in America too, type 1 diabetes is absolutely it's everywhere. A lot of people had it. Actually, one of my youngest friends had a had diabetes, and he had this box that like had like an injector into it, and whenever he needed insulin, it was just a box that was always injected into him. And it was honestly, it frightened me as a kid that he had to go through all of that. It's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
some great
I have one
significance
of
to your
my
project.
cousins. Exactly. I have one of my cousins who has been taking these injections since he was like 16, 17, and he's going to take them for a lifetime. And because of glucose, lower levels of glucose, sometimes he faints. And there are so many issues that come with type 1 diabetes, and it's
Hmm.
it really needs to be looked into. So yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and it's amazing that you're doing a project so relevant and so important to everyone and everywhere. Type 1 diabetes is I don't think it's specific to any country; it's everywhere. And if any progress could be made to helping these people, this would be um, fantastic for so many people. And so, how exactly are you going to be? What is your project? How are you going to help people with a new type of treatment? Are you looking at?
Yeah. So if you look through our project, the end product, how we envisioned it, would be a pill containing probiotic bacteria that would be able to go inside and transform some certain aspects of the gut, certain parts of the gut, certain cells. And those cells would be able to behave like islet cells, pancreatic beta islet cells, and they would be able to
Okay.
produce insulin. So yeah, that was how we envisioned the entire project in one line, if I could summarize it.
It makes sense. If you were to have these insulin producing cells in diabetic people, they may be able to at least have some progress towards
Upregulate,
their
yeah,
treatment.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
upregulate the
that would be,
insulin levels.
yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, transforming cells is maybe a backbone to what synthetic biology is. It's maybe one of the core components of like playing with DNA and genetics and all that. Um, yeah, and this is you're an iGEM team doing this, so you're a team of student researchers, and I just wanted to stress the importance of what iGEM is to all of our viewers. It is the International Genetically Engineered Machine competition where a group of collegiate students will compete in a synthetic biology project to do something for the world. And Molecular Cloud, GenScript sponsors this competition because we do see the value in growing the next generation of scientists and leaders. And so, yeah, so this is a very important thing to do for everyone. So, yeah, so how would you actually go about transforming specific cells in the gut? What methods would you use to target the cells you want to transform? Are you extracting them and putting them back, or are you? I'm pretty sure everything's probably in vivo right now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So, I mean, for a proof of concept, I mean, this was our first step because this is how we envisioned the project in a very long-term space. But for a year, we had decided that we would do a proof of concept, which would consist of E. coli, particularly K12 that we were looking at. And there is a specific system called the T3SS system, which is sort of like an injection, and it's able to attach to the cells, enter the cell membrane, and introduce the proteins from the bacteria into the cells. And so we were envisioning the E. coli, the K12, to have that particular T3SS system. And we came across these three proteins, transcription factors, that were important for insulin upregulation in the beta cells. And those are going to be transformed into the K12 and then injected through the T3SS into the gut cells. And they would help in upregulating those pathways inside the gut cells so that they can behave like pancreatic cells. And that is how the process would go. So the way we were going to do it, we are going to do it, is going to involve having a K12 system, which already has a T3SS system, and transforming those three proteins into it, and then first trying it on intestinal cells outside, like
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's certainly a good way to go about it. So,
cell lines, using
uh,
cell lines. Yeah.
mhm. So, actually, we had a comment on one of our wanted to know if this is this is like gene or cell therapy, and would you say that this is some sort of cell therapy that you're trying to
Yeah,
work with?
you could call that. You could call that some sort of gene therapy, because our bacterial system will behave like a vector, but instead of using usual viruses, we'll be using a bacteria with an injection with the T3SS system. So yeah, it is a form of gene therapy.
So, just to clarify, this T3SS system, is this going to be a plasmid that you're going to insert into the cells, or is this
So I mean, it's like a 12-part system. It's like an injectosome. Certain viral
okay?
bacteria already have this system. So there are certain strains of viral E. coli that already have T3SS in their system, and it was cloned into a K12 system as well by a scientist in Copenhagen. So we were going to use
Okay.
that system and yeah, introduce plasmids with the proteins. Not We're not going to transform the cell with the T3SS system.
Okay.
That would be a
Well, it's good
huge.
that yeah, it would be a huge to design an entire pathway. This scientist in Copenhagen has a big part of that project already figured out. So you're really lucky to have that starting point for you. I remember I was trying to turn ammonia into hydrazine when I was in doing my
Wow.
for rocket fuel, and yeah, and that was like a whole pathway that to engineer, and it was a nightmare. Yeah, so yeah, it's good that you have a game plan for this, and it does sound feasible. Um, and so yeah, right now it's a lot of places are, especially labs, universities. Everyone's working right now. I am working from home, and maybe you are
Yeah.
doing Zoom classes and Zoom meetings for
Yes.
iGEM. So amidst the pandemic, how are you guys handling your iGEM project? Are you having like a research meetings over Zoom? What are you guys doing? Have you been able to get into the lab at all?
So it's mostly been remote work. We have our campus. I mean, we're students from all over the country, and the institute is in Bhopal, which is in the central
Hmm.
part of our country. So we're all scattered across the country, and so mostly it's Zoom and it's remote work, and we have regular meetings, and we're discussing the theoretical aspects, the modeling, the wiki, and how we're going to do it when we go back, because we aren't still certain as to when we're going to be starting off. We do have some guidelines from the institute, so keeping those guidelines in mind, we have come up with a schedule. But for now, it's all remote working. Yeah,
And
it's
it's good that you're still able to get something done while you're remote working because
true.
having a game plan and like a progress to follow is going to be really important to completing your project and like following through with each step. And yeah, this sounds like something that could be actually commercialized, though, your project. Don't you think that maybe one day, if this project were to pan out, do you think you'd be able to move it into commercialization? Would you be like interested in following through with this project? How long do you think you'd be interested in working with these cells?
Uh, well, we haven't even started yet, so it would be hard to
Hmm.
come up with a timeline and how long. But for now, we
Oh, for
want to
sure, it would
focus
be a
on
very
the
long
I.
time.
Yes, yes, it would. And so we first want to focus on the iGEM aspects of this. And if it really pans out well, why not? We could grow it into something much bigger. And we do have people who are interested in the entrepreneurship side of iGEM. So yeah, it's a possibility in the distant future.
Yeah. There's so many interesting ideas that come out of iGEM every year. When you go to the giant jamboree, which is going to be virtual this year, um, and there's so many different ideas that you see, and you're like, wow, this could be like really profitable one day. So yeah, that's really interesting. And so yeah, your iGEM project is really really going to be some kind of transformation for people with diabetes, and I really think that's very important. Yeah, because we have that kind of problem here in the United States too. Um,
Yeah, and
yeah.
because of how big this is, I mean, we want to extend it to everyone out there, like because a project that is about diabetes, I feel like it should be a cause that everyone stands for and not just us as a team that's working on it. And so we really hope that if there are any people out there who connect with our project or iGEM, and we've got a crowdfunding set up as well, because uh, it would be helpful to be, to be able to take this project forward in the best way possible. And for research, you always need the kind of those kind of resources. So, I mean, we always hope that anyone who connects with this project can, look up our keto funds, can look up our project, can contact us through Instagram or in any way so that we can tell them about our project. And, this can be bigger than just us or iGen. It can be taken to people who actually value it or care about it or are getting impacted by it. So I hope that happens
Hmm.
more than just the project alone.
Yeah. So if people wanted to support you, how would they go about doing that?
So I think if people wanted to support us, that would be, I mean, we have a crowdfund set up, which is on keto.org. We could send the link as well. And you can contact us through Instagram and we can lead you through the process, which would be really helpful. So yeah, it could either be Instagram or our crowdfunding, which is on keto.org.
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. Oh, that's good to know. So, yeah, if anyone's interested in supporting the iGEM team, then they can absolutely just reach out to you on Instagram. And so, yeah, if there's anything else we'd want to cover, I think I want to congratulate you again for winning the May sponsorship, and I
Thank you.
wish your team the best for and I hope you guys get some sort of medal this year again. All right. All right. Thank you for joining. You have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye, all.
Yeah. Bye bye. Thank you.